What's up, DFS players? We just hit a ton of player props on PrizePicks. Steph Curry over 2.5 turnovers, cashed $3,000 worth of PrizePicks entries. We have some other ones that hit as well. So big winning streak on PrizePicks. So hopefully you've been tailing, and let's go through the best PrizePicks entries for today. So again, the way that PrizePicks works is pretty fascinating, right? It doesn't matter if you pick the overs or the unders. In fact, it doesn't even matter what two player props you include in your PrizePicks entry. Your payout is not changing, right? If we switch this from the over to the under, 20 to win 60, it doesn't matter. If we switch Colton to Jacob Trouba, you can see 20 to win 60. Doesn't matter if you take the overs or the unders, your payout doesn't change, right? This is pretty interesting because, as you probably know about sportsbooks like FanDuel, which is right here, if we take Nicholas Paul, his under in shots on goal, we're wagering 100 to win 140 in profit. If we take his over, we're wagering $100 to win 52.63 in profit. So sportsbooks operate very differently, which also means it's pretty easy to find value on PrizePicks because they're not changing their odds. They're not changing the payouts depending on if you select the over or the under. So the OddsJam positive EV tool is incredibly valuable for finding, the best player props on PrizePicks. So let's go through a few examples. So the first pick I have is a tennis prop. We're actually going to be going with the Taylor Fritz game over 21.5 total games. So this is a PrizePicks tennis prop. And you can see right here, Taylor Fritz over 21.5. The sharpest bookmaker in the world is pricing this at minus 157. And on PrizePicks, we're able to include this in our entry, right? Now, the second pick I'm going to go with is going to be an Nhl prop. So there's actually a bunch of profitable Nhl props right now. The first one is Ross Colton over 1.5 shots on goal. So you can see all the sportsbooks are pricing this minus 160 to minus 180. On PrizePicks, we can get this in our entry, right? We can get the over in our entry. So the first player prop I'll pick is going to be Taylor Fritz over 21.5 projected total games, and then Ross Colton over 21.5 shots on goal. So you can really pick, there's a bunch of them. We have Ross Colton over, Stamkos under, Kucherov under, right? So all three of these player props on PrizePicks, there's massive line discrepancies between the sportsbooks and PrizePicks. And again, the reason for that is PrizePicks does not vary payouts depending on if you pick the over or the under. So here, every sportsbook is heavily juicing Stamkos under 3.5 shots on goal. On PrizePicks, it doesn't matter if you select the over or the under. So it's very clear, looking at the sportsbook odds, that we want to play this prop on PrizePicks, right? Minus 137. So there's a bunch of player props that you want to, be on for the Lightning Rangers game on PrizePicks. So we'll go ahead, we'll place $100 on Taylor Fritz, Ross Colton. Then we'll go back to tennis because you can't put together two players from the same team in PrizePicks. So what I'm going to do is actually go here, and then I'm going to take his under, and then I want to take Stamkos' under as well. So we'll put 150 on Kucherov and Fritz over. So Fritz over in total games, Kucherov under in shots on goal. And then we'll take Stamkos under, and we'll go back to tennis, and then we'll take total games, and we will pick Fritz. So over and under for Stamkos, and then we can run through the math. So we're adding 3 PrizePicks entries, right? We have 3 Nhl props. We have 1 over, Ross Colton, over 1.5 shots on goal, and then 2 unders with Kucherov and Stamkos, under 3.5 shots on goal, over 1.5 shots on goal. And then the Taylor Fritz match, we have over 21.5 total games, right? So again, just searching for value, comparing PrizePicks to the sportsbooks. We can run through the math we'll just run through the math of one of them in this example. So essentially, on PrizePicks, we're getting plus 200 odds. So for example, for Stamkos, we're staking 150 to win $300 of profit. And we have Fritz over 21.5 games. And then we have Stamkos under 3.5 shots on goal. So what we need to do next is figure out the win probability for this pick. So what we can do is use the OddsJam line. So this is real-time odds from Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. Minus 183, they're pricing the under. Plus 134, they're pricing the over. So we can throw that into a no-vig fair odds calculator, which will essentially tell you the win probability for your pick. So the win probability for this player prop on PrizePicks is going to be 60.21%. So for Stamkos, 0.6021. And then, what we can do is the same thing for this Taylor Fritz total games. Over 21.5 is minus 157, plus 134. So let's go back here, and then we want to put that into a no-vig odds calculator. Minus 157, plus 134. The win probability for the tennis pick we have is 58.84%. So 0.5884. So now we have two picks on PrizePicks, both with win probabilities above the break-even win probability of 57.74% that you need to beat. If you're winning all your player props in your PrizePicks entries 57.74% of the time, you will break even, right? So your goal on PrizePicks is to win your picks over 57.74% of the time. And then essentially, using this, we can back out the EV of our PrizePicks entry, which is $9 on an $150 entry stake, which is 6.3% edge, right? So again, we're just comparing PrizePicks odds to the more efficient betting markets, which are the sportsbooks, and we're looking for big line discrepancies, right? Like here, you can see Kucherov under 3.5 shots on goal. The sportsbooks have the under heavily juiced, which means the sportsbooks are implying that the under is much more likely to hit, right? So being able to get this in your PrizePicks entry is incredible value. And we locked in, 3 PrizePicks entries for today. 1 tennis pick in all of them, 1 NHL prop. Same tennis pick in every single one. $400, deployed on PrizePicks. And a bunch more, money hopefully coming in shortly just from these other ones that I'll be able to play some other PrizePicks entries tomorrow and later tonight and share them with you. So hopefully you're able to tail them. And again, thanks so much for your time.